Have you ever been on the verge of something good, a promotion, a relationship, a goal, and somehow, without fully understanding how, you found a way to blow it? This video is about why that happens, and more importantly, it's about why it is not a character flaw. It's not a personality trait. It's not evidence that you are broken. It's a pattern, and patterns can be interrupted. Hi, my name is Suzette. I'm a personal transformation and mindset coach, and over the past few weeks, we've talked about overthinking, limiting beliefs, motivation, and building momentum. Today, we go one layer deeper into the mechanism that undoes all of that work before it has a chance to land, and that is called self-sabotage. So let's get into it. First, let's clear up what self-sabotage is not. It is not stupidity, it is not weakness, it is not you being your worst enemy in some dramatic sense. Self-sabotage is your nervous system doing exactly what it has been trained to do, and that is to protect you from an outcome that it has learned to associate with danger. And here's the part that surprises most people. The danger it's protecting you from is not failure. Most self-sabotage is actually protecting you from success. Think about it for a moment. Why would success feel dangerous? Let me give you some of the most common reasons I see in my coaching work. Success means visibility. Visibility means being seen, judged, and potentially rejected on a bigger scale than you have ever been rejected before. If some part of you have learned early that being seen leads to pain, a critical parent, a humiliating experience, a moment where standing out got you punished, then your nervous system will work overtime to keep you small and invisible, regardless of what your conscious mind wants. Success means responsibility. If things are going well, you now have something to lose. You have a reputation to maintain, expectations to meet, a standard to uphold. And some people would genuinely rather not have something good than have to lose it. Unconsciously, staying stuck feels safer than having something valuable that could be taken away. Success means change, and change, even positive change, disrupts the familiar. Your relationship might shift. Your identity will definitely shift. People might respond differently. Even if the familiar is uncomfortable, the brain often prefers the predictable discomfort it knows over the unpredictable possibility it doesn't. Understanding which of these is driving your self-sabotage is the first step to interrupting it, because you cannot dismantle a protection mechanism you have not yet understood. Let me walk you through the 5 self-sabotage patterns I see most frequently so that you can start to recognize which ones are yours. Pattern 1, perfectionism as avoidance. Perfectionism sounds like high standards, and sometimes it is, but in the context of self-sabotage, perfectionism is almost always a way of never having to finish, and therefore never having to be evaluated. The project isn't launched because it isn't quite ready. The conversation isn't had because the timing isn't perfect. The application isn't submitted because there's one more thing to add. And meanwhile, months go past and nothing moves. The tell: you can talk in extraordinary detail about what you are going to do and almost no detail about what you have actually recently done. Pattern 2, comfort collapse. Things start going well, real momentum builds, and something happens. An argument, a binge, a distraction spiral, a sudden crisis that brings you back to your baseline. Comfort collapse is when you unconsciously create or attract chaos at the exact moment things start to improve, because that improvement has taken you outside of your comfort zone faster than your identity could keep up. The tell: you notice that you often feel vaguely anxious when things are going well, rather than just enjoying it. Pattern 3, relationship disruption. Just as something important is building, a new career direction, a discipline streak, a period of real personal growth, you pick a fight, create drama, or suddenly have a relationship crisis that consumes all of your bandwidth and derails the momentum. The tell: your biggest relationship conflicts seem to cluster around the times that you are on the verge of a breakthrough. Pattern 4, busy work as productivity. You are busy all day. You are never not doing anything. But at the end of the week, none of the actual important things have moved. Your emails are at 0, your house is clean, you have researched extensively, you did everything except the one thing that would make a real difference. The tell: you feel productive, but nothing has progressed. That is motion without direction. Pattern 5, Invisible deadlines. You give yourself infinite time on important goals and urgent, unbreakable deadlines on trivial tasks. The important things always has a tomorrow attached to it. The trivial thing has to be done right now, and the important thing never quite becomes now. The tell. You can identify things you've been about to start for more than 6 months. Every one of these patterns has a root, and the root is almost always a belief about what happens when you succeed, when you are seen, and when you step outside of the version of yourself that feels safe. Here's the question that I ask every client when we are working on self-sabotage. What would have to be true about success for this behavior to make sense as a protection? For someone with perfectionism, success equals being exposed as not actually good enough. So never finishing means never being found out. For someone with comfort collapse, success equals losing a relationship or identity you have now. So pulling back keep things familiar. For someone with busy work, success equals having to take real responsibility for your outcomes. So staying busy and unfocused maintains the story that I just didn't have time. Once you can see the belief under the pattern, you are no longer at the mercy of the pattern. You can question the belief. You can update it. You can choose differently, not by willpower, but by genuinely changing underlying meanings your nervous system has attached to moving forward. How do you actually interrupt self-sabotage patterns in real time? Here are the 4 steps that I teach. Step 1, name it in the moment. When you notice you are doing the thing, whether it's procrastinating, creating chaos, doing busy work, say it out loud or write it down. I'm self-sabotaging right now. Not as a judgment, as an observation. Naming it interrupts the automatic nature of the pattern. Step 2, get curious, not critical. Instead of what's wrong with me, ask, what am I protecting myself from right now? What outcome feels threatening? You don't need a perfect answer. Just asking the question shifts you from automatic pilot to unconscious awareness. Step 3, do the small possible version of things that you are avoiding. Not the whole thing, not perfectly, just a 5-minute low stakes version. Close the gap between the fear and the reality by taking one tiny step towards it. Almost always, the reality is far less threatening than the anticipation. Step 4, track the actual outcome. What actually happens when you did the thing? Did the feared consequence occur? Start building an evidence base that contradicts the belief driving the sabotage. Over time, new evidence creates new neural pathways, and the old protection mechanism loses its justification. Self-sabotage is not failing yourself. It is you protecting yourself from a threat that your nervous system decided was real, often a long time ago, based on limiting information. Your job is not to fight it. Your job is to understand it well enough to update it, and that's entirely within your power. If you want a structured way to work through your specific self-sabotage patterns with daily support, my 30-day transformation workbook walks through this exact work. Day 19 covers facing resistance, and the full belief rewrite module goes deep into the root belief driving these patterns. The link is in the description. In my next video, I'm covering something closely related, the cost of playing small, and what it's actually costing you to stay in your comfort zone. If this content resonates, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. No more self-sabotage. That way you and I can keep each other accountable for making this our best and most successful year yet.